right, welcome back. You're still watching Eva is the entertainment show on Signature TV. Live here with me is Ashley Marion. She's a movie production manager and a producer. We'll be talking about mastering the chaos, the role of a movie production manager. So thanks for joining, Ashley.
Thank you.
Hope you're fine.
Of course I am.
All right.
Of course I am.
You know, when I got your number, someone told me that you're not a Nigerian. You're not Nigerian.
Yeah, they're not completely wrong.
Okay. So they said, okay, initially they said you're Ghanaian, and then I asked, you said you're Cameroonian.
Cameroonian.
So why did you relocate?
Obvious reasons, entertainment.
Okay, that means Nigeria, we are doing our best, right?
Of course.
Thank you very much. Our pleasure. Our pleasure. So let's talk, right?
Okay.
Why did you diversify into being a production manager? Because you said you used to work in real estate before, with real estate before.
Yes, I did.
So why did you diversify, or do I say switch to being a production manager?
Well, I didn't. It's not like I switched.
Okay.
The idea has always been entertainment. So even
Okay.
when coming to Nigeria, it's always been entertainment. But then when you come to you get somewhere that you do not know people, you do not know your way, you don't know how to navigate around. So you have to I had to get something doing while trying to find my feet in the industry.
Okay.
That's when I started working for that real estate company. Yes, and then while working there, I was trying to get one or two informations, connections on how to get to where I am right now.
So what would you say? You know, yesterday was Youth Day.
Yes.
So what would you say about women and women breaking forth to literally everything, media, entertainment, name them?
Well, I feel like today's women are the go-getters.
Right.
Yes.
Let's take our flowers.
Yes. Because I feel like women now are literally in everything, in every field, in everything. Like, they are no longer the women that want to just get married and sit down. Now they're the women that want to make it so. As a man is making it so, I also want to make it. They're the women that want to have their own money.
Yeah.
They're the women that want to also be responsible for themselves and not just sit down depending on a man like our parents used to do.
Yeah.
Where you just have to sit down, your husband tells you everything. No, our women now, if you look at how women get into business, how they are succeeding, how they are, you just that women now are not longer the way they were before.
And I'm proud to be part of
Of course,
that
I'm proud to be a
generation.
woman.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about production and all. So in
Okay.
your own word, what's the true essence of a movie production manager?
Well, I call them the backbone of production,
Okay.
the engine of production.
Okay.
So, a production manager, right? Sorry,
Yeah.
a production manager literally is
Yeah.
you oversee production as a whole. So you make sure everything that has to do with production physically is met. That's if there's a production now and we have to get in actors, crew members, getting permits for whatever location it is that we have to shoot,
Yeah.
negotiating, everything in general, it's on the production manager's head to do. So as a production manager, it's a bit of a challenging role, but then it's not something we cannot handle, or it's not something we cannot
Right.
do. Exactly. So it's not really something very, very, very difficult for us to
So
do.
does it mean a production manager is more like or bigger than a director?
No. Now, on every production set, it is a director's set.
Okay.
For instance, it is a director's set. It is the director that owns the set when we are shooting, but it is not the director that will come and start calling actors to negotiate prices. It is not the director that will come and start calling crew members that are going to work on that production. It is not the director that is going to come and make sure that people eat on set. It's not the director that is going to make sure that the welfare of everybody on set is met.
Yeah.
It is the production manager. So it's not the production, it's not the director. But then again, on every production set, the director is the almost important person there, right? Because he's calling the shots.
So how do you balance creative vision with harsh reality and budgets, logistics? You just mentioned making sure the welfare of the people are met, food and all that. So how do you balance it, especially in this economy?
Of course, before you want to produce a movie, you have to make sure that you have the money to do the production. So, of course, economy is going hard, everything is increasing and everything. So, if you want to do a production, that's when it comes to the producers and the executive producers, they will know that this is the so and so budget that has to be brought in for this production. For instance, you cannot be doing a production where your budget is 300 million for per se, and then you now come and you tell us it's 100 million you have. It's going to bring down the production, and we might not be able to achieve what we are supposed to achieve.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But then again, as a production manager, if an executive producer tells you or a producer tells you when you're working as an when you're working in as a producer or a production manager, if an executive producer tells you, oh, my budget for this project is 2,000 naira, and you say, oh, so the budget for this film is 2,500 naira. But okay, let's see how we can cut down costs to fit 2,000. But if we, in the process of cutting down that cost and it doesn't work out, you say, oh, sir, we cannot do this. So it's like, okay, let's leave it at this amount and this amount to make it work. So you are supposed to be in that position where you have to say, it will not work out or it will work out. Because once you say it would work out for 2,000 and they give you 2,000,
yeah,
my dear, you will make it work out for that 2,000. Exactly.
So can you share the most chaotic day you've ever had as a production man personally? We want to know, because yeah, we know production managers go through a whole lot, the stress to gather, you know, both in the media.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
So we want to know the most chaotic day, maybe the day you had it up to here and you're like, I'm not doing again. Okay, I'm done.
I've had challenges, but I've never been in that position where I say I'm done, I'm not doing this again. That's never been my thing. I'm always like, challenges will come, I will face it. When I cannot face it, in fact, there's no one that has come that I don't face it. I'll face it, or I'll just take a decision that is going to help production at that point and maybe face the consequences later with my executive producer. I think there was a day we were shooting on set.
Yeah.
We came out to shoot, and an actor did not come on set early. He went to another set, and so him going to another set means I'm going to lose 1 day of production. And he didn't inform me he was going to be on another set, and my executive producer was not in town at the moment. So I was heading the production, and I just had to like be calling, and you know, so he's calling me, what's happening? We are not shooting, and it's almost like 2 p.m. and stuff like that. So I'm already boiling in me. Crew members are coming, PM, why are we not shooting now? Everybody's just throwing things and everything. And I'm like, oh, God, okay, I have this. And then from nowhere, my costumer was like, she's going to leave this set and everything. I was like, that was when I was like, oh, God, please. This is where you said I can handle this. Please just give me the strength to handle these people. And when I had to call the other set where he was. I was like, I need this guy on my set. He didn't even tell me he was leaving set and everything. So I spoke with the other production manager, and he was like, oh, okay, now that you called, he's already on his way. We are releasing him now. So before they released him, before he got to me, it was about 4. But before that time, there was when I could not even hold in emotions anymore. Because there are times like that, and it's okay when you cannot hold it anymore. I just walked out of set and I was going down. But then my director at that time, was a fossa. He knew that something was not right, so he just followed me. I kept going down, and I went to our camp. Then he followed me there, and when I got there, I just burst out. I just busted, yes. And he was the only one that saw me break down. I think that was like the first time I was breaking down so hard on set. And after I broke down, he was like, it's fine, don't worry, it's okay, let's go back on set. Went back on set, the actor came back, like he immediately came back, he just knelt down. I was like, I'm begging. PM,
so would you agree with me that maybe the timing was not syncing with him or something?
No, when it comes to production and filmmaking, if an actor will not be on set, it's very important that you let production know. So that production plans, or will say, okay, since you're not going to be on set today, let's go and shoot something else. But when you don't tell us anything and you just decide to go, you're costing production money. And if it was in a situation where, like, if that was like a YouTube project, if he has to be on a project like Netflix or anything where you sign the contract, he's going to have to pay for that day that production lost. Because you signed the contract, you cannot just walk out and say like that. So obviously, when you're working with a lot of professionals, again, that's how it's done. Once you sign the contract form, if you're not going to be on set, the production is aware. So they work with you not being around. So if you're supposed to be around and you do not show up for your personal interests, for your own personal reasons, which does not have anything to do with production, you have to pay for the losses for those days.
Right.
That's how it is done, yes.
So
it's
how
a
do
business.
how do you handle unexpected crises like location, weather?
Okay.
Now we're in the rainy season. Rain can just come up anytime. So how do you handle those crises? Even the actor, let's assume he didn't show up again.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
Well, if he didn't show up again, at the end of the day, there's nothing much I can do.
So you shoot with other people that...
If we do not have, like now, the only reason we waited for him till after 3 was because we didn't have any other thing to shoot.
Okay.
We're almost done with the project. That was the only reason we waited.
Okay.
If not, I would immediately with my director and my continuity, my script team will sit down with like, okay, since this person is not here, what else can we do? We find what we can do with other actors that are on set, and then we move to another location if that has to be the case. And when it comes to rainfall, you know, we work when we are working. Before, if we're going to set tomorrow, today we are going to check weather forecast for the next day.
Does it work?
It works sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does work sometimes. So in instances where you go and it rains and stuff like that, so it's either you shoot what you can and go, or you don't shoot if the rain meets you per day. But that's production hazard. It's not on you. It's production hazard.
Yeah.
Because if the weather forecast was saying it will not rain and eventually it rains, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Fact.
Actually. Yes.
Then location.
Location. Sometimes you can go. Sometimes you go and pay for a location already a day before, and you get there and they tell you, oh, you can't shoot for reasons that don't even make sense.
Yeah.
Or they tell you the house owner left, or the house owner traveled, and you've already paid. So in situations like that, if you're crying about spilled milk. So you just have to find a way to navigate through that one. So it's either you find another location that you're going to shoot in, or you change your schedule and move your people to another place to go and shoot while finding that kind of location or the same location, making plans for it for the next day of shoot still.
So what trend do you think is currently reshaping production management in Nollywood?
What? Sorry, come again.
What trend do you think is reshaping production management in Nollywood?
Well, I feel like right now a lot of filmmakers, production managers, especially in the East, are realizing their importance. You understand? Yes, they realize their importance right now, because initially before, as a production manager, there are things you would just take, you would just, tolerate on set that would just make, oh, let me just do it because of this. Or sometimes they call you for production management, they are not offering you your words, and you're like, let me just do it because someone will say, oh, just do it because I'll call you again, or they tell you just do it because you're going to do 2 jobs or 3 jobs. But I feel like right now a lot of people have known their words, so they're like, oh, if you're not paying me this, I'm not doing. Production managers as a whole right now, I feel like they've known their words. They're like, okay, this is my words, and if you're not paying me, I'm not doing. So I think that alone has made a lot of production managers to know that, oh, this is how much importance I hold on set. I should not give it up for anything. That's just it.
So let me ask, let's assume there is a situation whereby an actor and a crew member had a fight, or having fights in between the sets. How do I place this drama? She slapped. You understand,
yes,
right?
There's a situation that came up like that. Where
recently that they
have slapped a costumier on
Thank
set.
you very much.
Now, we are all adults, right? You do not have the right to slap anybody on set. You do not have that right.
Okay.
1, I am not your child. I am your employee. You employed me. Sorry, the actor did not even employ you. Sorry, let's go back here. An actor and a crew member, right? So most times actors feel like they are both crew members, and crew members are just nothing. But no, without crew members, you cannot shoot a movie.
Right.
Yes. Without crew members on a set, you cannot shoot a movie. And that is the truth. But now, because actors are the ones that are being seen on screen, they are the celebrities, they feel, some of them, right? Not all of them, because I've worked with amazing actors, right? So in a situation where an actor will slap a crew member, for at that point we don't really even need to know what exactly happened, because there's nothing that's going to go to the point where you're slapping a crew member because the crew member insulted you, the crew member slapped you, the crew member is not going to slap you before you slap them back. Because if, let's just assume that the crew member was wrong, maybe the crew member slapped you and you are retaliating, of course it's another ball game altogether.
Yeah.
But maybe because you're having a misunderstanding on, say maybe because you're saying a crew member should not talk when you're talking. No, who are you that a crew member should not talk when you're talking? If you see you're not going to slap the production manager. As a production manager on that set, maybe when I see you already arguing, I have to come in. I know what's happening, and I know how to sort it out. If it's something that I feel like, oh, at this point, okay, I can't handle it, because I should be able to handle it. But if I feel like, oh, maybe the person is going overboard and everything, I bring in my producer on set. That's if I'm not producing the job.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And of course, I'm going to talk to you. But if you slap a crew member for no just cause, production will have to first of all wait. We'll have to sort it out.
Before
production
going back
has
to
to
this.
wait. Yes, we have to sort it out.
All right.
Because let's assume, because some of this money is already at stake there, I won't say we'll cancel production. We'll
Entirely.
finish that project, but you have to pay for it as an actor. Either the Actors Guild of Nigeria is going to have to ban you for a while. Or they just has to, they have to just pay for it.
Yeah.
You don't slap people like that. Talk less of crew members. No, it doesn't happen again.
You know, I had a great time with you, Ashley. I had so much time that I feel like this time frame is not enough.
Okay.
Maybe we'll invite you some other time. How about that?
No problems. Of course, I'm in
Okay, yeah. So the show has come to an end. Join us same time tomorrow for more interesting conversations, trending dramas, and stories as topping charts in the entertainment industry, social media, name them. Follow all our social media platforms, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, download the Signature TV app. I am your baby girl, Queenette Mukunta. Enjoy the rest of your day.